Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We're live now. February 1st, 2026. The day has come. The night has arrived when the world could change. And also breaking news. They have released a video showing a secret facility, a secret bunker full of missiles in Iraq, possibly aimed at Israel. This is a game changer, and the most dangerous moment is approaching. Family, your likes, your comments. This is Military Strategies. We're going all in. Tonight live, right here we begin. Very good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now. Welcome to your channel. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for always waiting for us. Sometimes I arrive later because I'm finishing things up or I'm checking things, or I just want to wait until everyone is ready so nobody misses a single minute of what's going to happen. A few hours ago, the Hezbollah captives in Iraq released a video that has caused a stir within the intelligence community of what could be a secret facility or secret facilities underground in Iraq. Now, we're not talking about 2,000 kilometers between Israel. Thanks to centimeters, the kilometers are getting shorter. And that's bad news for air defense, very bad, because those missiles could be launched at any moment, and there would only be seconds to respond. We need to be honest and straightforward. Family, we're live. On Military Strategies, we have breaking news, new planes, and new statements. There has been an ultimatum from Donald Trump, which was delivered in person, not by video conference, not by phone, not even by carrier pigeon. A high-ranking official, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, has traveled to Tehran. He was there for less time than a piece of candy lasts at the entrance of a school. He got off the plane, met in the terminal, and told them Donald Trump's conditions for not eradicating, disinfecting, or deworming Iran of the Ayatollah's regime. In the same way he arrived, he left again for Qatar with an answer, and we know the answer here. The answer is no. We accept the conditions of the United States of America, and we are not going to give up. Which means now only the time of weapons remains. War can be diplomatic, it can be economic, but in the end, war, real war, the one that unfortunately causes so much pain, ends up becoming the war of weapons. Israel, for its part, has already started. They continue in Lebanon, drilling into each one of Hezbollah's nests, preparing for what is to come. And now, when we look at the map and start marking distances and locations, you'll realize why. Israel has to move quickly. Israel has to be faster than lightning, faster than the deadly wind. A lot is at stake for Israel with today's new discovery in the video, which we're going to see here exclusively. A new front is opening in military strategies. One we didn't count on, we suspected it, but we didn't count on it in the past. A long time ago on this channel, we talked about secret facilities inside Iran. Facilities specifically designed to prevent missile launches. Missiles like the one Iran launched today. From Courage, they launched a test ballistic missile. And be careful. Our earlier warnings are now being confirmed despite some claiming it was just strategy or exaggeration. Iran could have a limited arsenal of missiles with a range of 10,000 kilometers. No more, no less. All United States bases in Europe would be within range. Diego Garcia would be within range, and Iran. At the last minute, in the last breath of the game, he could press the red button and say, "I'm leaving, thank you very much, here's hell." All of that happening at the same time when diplomacy isn't even being considered anymore, in which Zamir himself in Israel has said it's likely that an attack could begin at any moment, where everyone already takes it for granted. We'd experienced this before. 12-day war. Hours before, everyone was already officially acknowledging what was inevitable, the systematic attack of the 12-day war. And attention, we have breaking news right now here in military strategies. We're starting off strong tonight. We're starting off very strong.
Hey.
Watch what's happening in the skies now. Al Judeed may be evacuated. Stay alert to current events. 4 tanker planes have just left Al Judeed. All right. Possible aircraft evacuation from Al Judeid, Qatar. Let's see where they're going. Bye. Heading toward the Mediterranean. Heading toward Djibouti, heading toward Jordan. We don't know, but it's happening right now. Family, breaking news. 4 tanker layers leaving from there also arriving in the region. More C-17S, more C-17S. Possibly with anti-aircraft munitions. And the B-52s heading to Diego Garcia. At any time, subscribe to the Breaking News channel right now. Your likes, comments, family.
Yeah.
It's happening, it's taking place, and we're watching it live right here. This already happened the day Donald Trump canceled the attack. On January 14th, Donald Trump canceled the attack at the last minute after evacuating Al Judeid. Please leave comments in the chat now. By the way, it's confirmed that there was an incident at the Moron base in Spain, and they had to switch the operation cycle to Moron. Due to the accident, as we've mentioned, one tanker lost 8 of its 11 wheels. The runway was slightly damaged, and for safety reasons, they preferred to divert operational traffic to Rota. Iran has that base within its range. I insist again. Spain has not deployed its air defense system, nor does it seem like it will. The government of Spain is more concerned, more focused on nationalizing 500,000. It's millions, because no one has a census of illegal immigrants in Spain who are going to be. Irene Montero said today they should be legalized to vote. We want these immigrants. They label those replacing the population as fascists. The Spanish are more concerned about this than about defending Spain's airspace. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen, right? Hopefully it doesn't happen and nothing bad happens. All right, the planes are there. 4 for now. 4 have been deployed. Could any more take off immediately? Considering the timing and distances between each one, another takeoff could happen at any moment. Many people were saying that the attack could begin either tonight or tomorrow night. Let's go take a quick look, folks, at another important element in this story. Let's look for radars. Let's look for global positioning system devices that have interference. And from there, we'll see what we can find or not. In this whole story about Iran, is it going to be attacked? Today has been a really tough day for the channel, but also a very beautiful one. Very soon, as early as tomorrow, you're going to find a bombshell here on the channel that will blow your mind. I recommend that you stay tuned to our Twitter social media, just in case something happens there. What do we have? See you. Radars. Chip radar reactivated. This area we see here, those clouds are not clouds. What radio frequency? Another radar in Saudi Arabia. A battery, probably Patriot, providing security. This one we see here, those lines we see are typical of a radar. Nothing for now in Qatar, nothing for now in Bahrain. And in Europe, what do we have? Do we see each other? Nothing for now. Everything's calm there. How's the situation with the global positioning system?
Sí.
Day 29. And things are escalating. Things are getting redder and redder and redder. Iran is protecting the Tabriz area with electronic warfare equipment. The area from Tehran to Qom is also being jammed with global positioning system interference.
Sí.
And the Shiraz area is also experiencing global positioning system interference. And what does this mean? Therefore, is this something we also have exclusively?
Va.
Let's stop the music for a moment.
What is it?
What? What is that?
So,
What's this video about? This video is about drones on the border between Iraq and Iran. And a visit that took place in the last 48 hours. From Del Arihani, the advisor, the Ayatollah's advisor to Moscow, let's show a photo. First photo of the night, Che. Arihani has urgently gone to Moscow to ask for something. We need radars, she just told Putin. Send us radars for the S-300 systems that Israel destroyed for us. Putin has told her, Friend Arihani, we love you very much, but we can't. The ones we have, we need them ourselves. Ourselves. Of course. And now what? So now you'll lack both an early warning system and long-range missiles? Now, you won't have the ability to see what's happening, but who will have that ability in the future? Let's take a break. I want to show you the war of the future. What do you see? Boeing? This device you see? Thanks. Are you amazed by it? Is this the future of aerial refueling? This drone, which will fly autonomously starting in 2026, will be able to provide fuel to other aircraft in flight. Thanks especially to the F-35S, this aircraft will act as an aerial gas station to accompany the F-35S in combat operations. They'll be able to refuel and reach their destination whenever they want. By the way, do you remember today's footage, the explosions, where it was said that maybe some important elimination had happened? The Iranian Navy chief and Revolutionary Guard head haven't appeared yet, but this is all we've seen. This video has been leaked, and what is a member of the Revolutionary Guard doing there? What is he doing there? Among the injured, look. He seems to be a low-ranking officer. He's wearing a good watch, the typical ring of the Revolutionary Guard. There were members of the Revolutionary Guard inside there. Rumors start somewhere, and in the end there's some truth to them. Something is heard. Pecheskian? It seems that Pecheskian, together with Larijani, authorized the unlimited use of force against civilians during the protests. Subscribe. Pecheskian. I think he's going to have a very, very unpleasant visit.
Muy fea.
Speaking of Larijani, this sinister figure, who really seems to be the one controlling the country, has said things today. Photograph of Larijani. He says the following. Contrary to media propaganda, the structural agreements for negotiations with the United States are making progress. Not very believable. Not believable given their own actions. Have said that the ones who armed the protesters were Israel and the United States, which makes it not very believable. By the way, speaking of Rhoda and more on the air bases, take a look at these photos. What you're about to see today is all about photographs. Don't miss this. Look at them. Beautiful, right? Congratulations to Santi Blanquez, collaborator. He took the photos of the F-18 Growler in Spain taking off heading to the Middle East. And this is the boss, the ace. Spectacular. They have the most advanced electronic warfare systems that exist with greater capability, and they are going to blind Iran's radars. The attack is going to be terrible, horrible. We already saw it with Maduro. Now the countdown begins for them. Countdown.
Yes.
And what about the secret bunker? What's that about a secret bunker in Edad? What's that story about, Gloria? What's that about them sinking an aircraft carrier? About them launching missile salvos against Israel? Take a look at this video. The multiple launch revolver system is, as they call it, the one where missiles are mounted on rails to be launched in waves. IMAT missiles, some of the most feared by the Iranian regime. Tremendous? Well, yes, they do have a secret base in Edad. This isn't the video. We're going to watch it now, but family, it's super important. Your likes, your comments. We're live right now. Everyone get ready to see the secret base that was found in Edad. Now I'm going to start marking places on the map where it could be located where we might find ourselves. This sinister place, I insist, is a place that puts Israel's security in a more complicated situation. For years, the Iranians trained all their militias, the Shiite Hezbollah militias in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, but also the Iranian captives in Iraq. Iraq has a Shiite majority. Saddam Hussein kept them under control. During that time, Iran has been refining facilities like these. This is Aden. Have we ever talked about this place before? A whole facility prepared for rapid loading and missile launching. Could there be one closer to Israel?
Well, then after.
Prepararos.
Get ready, because the distance from where this place could be to Israel is short. Nothing more, nothing less. Than 500 kilometers. We'll watch live here. Military strategies, family, your comments.
Dios.
Let's watch it. The moment has arrived, family. This is what has been published. A few hours ago, we have to analyze it in detail. We have to look at it. Let's get to it point by point. This is the published video. A door opens. Soldiers from the Hezbollah brigade in Iraq appear. We see a vaulted structure. The photo of Khamenei. The one of the Houthis, the one of Malik al-Houthi, the leader of the spokesperson of Islamic Jihad, Abu Hansar. The leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of the Revolutionary Guard, Soleimani. Thank you. And another Shia cleric. The martyrs who fell during the 12-day war. Motorcycles. Thank you. A facility that isn't paved but is well drilled. There we see them. Trucks. With missiles. Much smaller missiles. 2 per truck. Multiple launcher. See the truck details. They've covered them in mud so they can't be identified. Later on, from drones. That's all for today, Astudos. The glass broke. Was it the heat? Those glass panes? In places where it's really hot, they crack, but take a look. Thanks. Short-range missiles. 500 kilometers from Israel. There they are. They have prepared facilities.
Preparadas.
Be careful with these, because they're not truly ballistic, they're quasi-ballistic. They travel at high altitude, but unlike those from Iran, they do so to cover 2,000 kilometers. Let's say these would be a kind of... People understand it. Rockets launched from Lebanon, rockets launched with a range of 500 kilometers, firing them in salvos. Could this be another new threat against Israel? Smaller, harder to detect. It draws attention. This type of installation attracts a lot of attention. And where it could be. What places? Could we be talking about places? Well, while we watch the video, let's look for the place. Let's see what could be the location or the origin of this place. Let's put it over there. Over there. With this, surely new options open up. Israel has to know where he is anyway.
Vámonos ahí.
What ways? Places that could be locations aligned with this site, a site to launch attacks on Israel. There are two. There are Abu Kamal. In the Abu Kamal area, during Assad's presidency, tunnels and underground facilities were built, and Israel attacked them at times, bombed them. But of course, not all of them they managed to destroy. Not all of them. That area is no longer under Assad's control. But what happens in the Iraqi area just across the Abu Kamal border? Could there be underground facilities built by these demons? Subscribe. Where are the missiles hidden? They could be stationed in places preparing for the launch moment. Abu Kamal area. Remember it for what might happen later and what could occur. There's another area. Missile highway. Why? Because Iran had been transporting missiles by truck all the way through Iraq to Syria and Lebanon. Route 1. This road you see, this road you're looking at right now, which was cut off by the United States, it was one of the biggest routes for the black market in weapons. In this place, in this area, there's a town, this one here, Arutba. In this location, there could also be the presence of those missile launchers. Notice the distance of what we're talking about. Let's use that place as an example. The distance to Israel. To Tel Aviv, 500 kilometers? 530 kilometers. This changes our situation. Missiles that don't reach as high as ballistic ones, the response time is minimal. They can cross it very quickly. Added to the attack at the same time with drones, they can start to make things even more complicated. Maybe Israel knew about this, and that was one of the reasons why they told Donald Trump, don't launch the attack. Now we have to wait. We have to wait. That's right. Friends of Cuba. Friends of Cuba. Friends of Cuba. Pay attention to what he said. Republican Senator Carlos Jimenez for the Friends? And did he say something to me? Be cautious when visiting communist Cuba. Tourists should leave the island before it's too late. I keep insisting. Some Marines train there to assault, but if they're not going to, and the United States ambassador is already in Venezuela, what's the purpose? Maduro, where are you? Maduro? Hello, Maduro, do you hear me? Maduro? No, he's not here, Maduro. The United States ambassador has already arrived in Venezuela to give instructions. The puppet they've left there, named Delcy. La Manca, well, she's not Manca anymore. She doesn't wear the microphone anymore. Now she can talk directly on the phone with the boss. But be careful with this. And what if the assault plan wasn't against Venezuela? What if the assault plan targeted Cuba? Sirens. This photo is historic. Who would have thought, I confirm, to FE 23 days ago, 24 days ago, who would have thought that in 24 days, the United States was going to reopen the embassy? And this was going to be seen? Venezuela, huh? The ambassador says, I just arrived in Venezuela. My team and I are ready to work. The Chavistas are doing well, aren't they? Diostado's doing well, right? By the way, Delcy also announced an amnesty for all political prisoners. Well, that's what she said, that everyone who was kidnapped will be pardoned. What did Nicolas Maduro say about this? Because Nico used to say something when he was under international pressure to release everyone. And is this an amnesty? What did the president of Venezuela say? Because according to Delcy, he's still Maduro. Isn't he going against Maduro?
As head of state, I will not accept any amnesty law. That's what I say, and that's where I stand.
They can send me 1,000 laws against the amnesty law, and that law will not pass. That law won't go through.
Please. Please.
You can do whatever you want, but that law of impunity will not be exercised, nor will it be enforced. There will be no freedom. Rest assured.
The amnesty law, the amnesty law.
Do you think that Comrade Nicholas is going to sign a law? One of those explosive ones? Don't you know him? I'm telling you.
Once they took Mother Gaia, I don't know what they know.
What? That's how the gossipers are, you see. That much?
They were saying, huh?
They don't talk, they just jerk themselves off.
We've decided.
And what did Dursey say? What did Dursey say?
Announce that we have decided to promote a law.
Look how the hair moves. Look how Betty moves her hair. She got a bit nervous.
Oh.
My God. The hair.
To push for a general amnesty law.
Well.
covering the whole period of political violence from 1999, 199,
And everything rises.
the present.
My God, Chavismo.
God,
How terrible. Look, I'm not a Chavista. I wasn't planning to be one in the next 40 or 50 years, or in the 5 days I have left to live. But if I were a Chavista, if I were a follower of Chavez or even of Maduro and I saw this, I'd have a stomach ache right now.
to the Commission of Revolution for the Judicial Revolution and to the Program for Democratic Coexistence and for Peace.
God has given you while applauding. God has given you while applauding. Look,
Look for democratic coexistence and for peace,
stop there. Everyone applaud. Let's drink.
so that in the next few hours, once in the emergency room,
The helicoide closes.
I am present at the law before the National Assembly, and I once again ask for the utmost cooperation from the legislative body of Venezuela. Let it be a law that serves to heal the wounds left by political confrontation.
Hey, let's see if Dursey gets the Nobel Peace Prize now.
From violence, from extremism, let it serve to redirect justice in our country and to restore coexistence among Venezuelan men and women.
Look at them all applauding. I mean, my goodness. Oh my God, what an embarrassment, huh? But
But
how do they explain this? How do they explain this? How do the leftists explain this?
Bill. Now,
No, just ask for what you want since someone else is in charge.
who has benefited,
Look at them. My God, my mother, my God.
forgiven by measurements?
Family, where are you joining us from tonight? Let us know in the chat. This is historic.
For those deprived of freedom who have been released, I ask on behalf of Venezuelans
Not to tell how they have been tortured,
and on behalf of Venezuelan women that revenge, retaliation, or hatred should not prevail.
please don't mention what happened in the helicoid or say I was in charge.
We're giving them a chance.
We are sparing their lives, says Betty, the ugly one, that they are sparing the hostages' lives. You couldn't be more despotic.
To live in peace and tranquility in Venezuela.
If you seek peace, leave.
Leave with differences since there are some.
Differences are not excuses. Torturing people isn't a difference. It's a crime.
From the diversity and plurality that exist, we can coexist with respect and above all, with respect for the law and justice. In Venezuela, no.
If Maria, Corina, and Dursey ultimately have dinner together, look at everyone's face. Look at the expression they have. Oh my God.
Quedarán
I can't believe it if Chavez came back from the dead.
accepted from this law as it is stated.
Hey, why did you put a spotlight under Betty so her wrinkles wouldn't show?
Our Constitution,
Damn them all.
those prosecuted or convicted for homicide or drug trafficking,
Oh, well, the real bad guys will stay. The drug traffickers will stay. There are very few in for drug trafficking unless they're against the cartel of the Suns.
for corruption and serious human rights violations.
Well, if it's for human rights, shouldn't all of you go to jail? Speaking of things that happen in Latam and Central America, yesterday, the man who deserves a statue bigger than Ramses on the shores of Lake Nasser, the man is changing the world. He's truly remarkable. Thank you, whose words make you fall in love. You can't be more sincere or clear. Yesterday, Nayib Bukele, president of El Salvador, when asked, in front of a woman who was moved and almost cried, seeing the terrible conditions at CECOT for prisoners, did he ask Nayib Bukele anything during the press conference with the president-elect of Chile, Cas? The typical question about human rights? And of course, Bukele. It's not the first time, nor will it be the last, that he has to get involved in this kind of tricky situation. He explained it to the little leftist. How does the world work, or at least, how does a world work that was full of chaos, violence, destruction, and beasts that killed human beings? And what is El Salvador like now? Please pay attention.
President Bukele, we wanted to ask you, as international human rights organizations have warned, some in Chile also question the so-called Bukele method.
Love it. Thanks, my protege.
Security. We are not ignoring what you have highlighted, but how do you respond to the concerns about human rights violations in this country?
Thank you.
Gentlemen, please take a seat. Grab your mate. Coca-Cola, water, oxygen for the lefties. Take some oxygen. Are you going to hyperventilate? I think this is historic. Even here, he's gone crazy. The look on Cass's face was incredible. But one day I'll tell you a secret about this. Soon you're going to know a secret about this moment, because more things happened here, but you'll find out about them soon.
I've always said that all human beings have rights, and these are rights that are innate to humans. That's why they're called human rights. Others call them natural rights. Everyone has fundamental rights. Prisoners have them, criminals have them, drug dealers have them, gang members have them, rapists have them, murderers have them. They have them. People who have cut off 3 heads in the street.
3 heads on Zerdita Street was already starting to play ostrich.
They have them, those who have planted bombs in places where there are children. They have them, those who have massacred. They have them. They have human rights. There are people who say they don't. I think they do have them. It disgusts me, but I accept it. They have them.
It disgusts me, but I accept it. This was epic, epic, epic.
But what I don't understand is why they always focus on their human rights, which they have, but why is the focus always on human rights? Of those who massacre, of those who kill children, of those who rape women, of those who cut off heads, why do they have human rights?
Look at Cass's face. My God, hold me, grab my drink, I'm going.
Rights are the sole priority of human rights organizations because here in El Salvador they killed hundreds of thousands of people, raped women, murdered children. There are stories about a young woman we're helping right now who doesn't have arms. Gang members killed her mother with a bomb because she hadn't paid.
I'll repeat, he's the president-elect, but some people just don't listen.
And she lost her arms in the explosion. A grandmother who had her hands cut off because she hadn't paid, and now the lady has no hands and keeps working to move her life forward. And nobody looked out for their rights. Hundreds of thousands of Salvadorans died, and if we look at other countries, well, it would be millions. People who weren't hurting anyone, they were working and walking down the street, and suddenly 3 criminals showed up and tried to rape them to death. I say they have human rights, yes, they do, but what about the woman who was raped and murdered by those 3 people? What about her? There's no human rights organization for her. Look, you all need to stop raping and killing. Are we going to intervene, or are we going to spend the billions of dollars we get to operate to try to prevent this from happening? No, while that's happening, the human rights organizations stay silent. And I'm not saying the government shouldn't come and arrest those 3 guys and put them in jail. Because are the kids eating well? Are they getting their medicine? Do they have a mattress? The poor kid doesn't have a mattress. We need to get him a mattress. No.
No. It's terrible. Well, I'm going to tell you something. This is a secret between us. While Zurdita was answering this point, at this point in the answer, she was already gone. She had already left. She ran out.
And the worst part is that these people have human rights, and that's why they receive food and medical care, etc. But suddenly people come and say, look, but is that all you're going to give them for lunch? Why does it have so little protein? And do you know what a normal Salvadoran eats? A Salvadoran with limited resources, what do they eat? To him, we have to say, look, sir, are you going to pay more taxes so that those who killed your daughter can eat better? So, what's happening?
You have to pay taxes so that those in Secot can eat better? The leftists just ran away. I really promise.
Always, the state of humans, of working people, of honest people, decent people, people who don't violate our rights. Prioritize the human rights of honest people. And then, of course, we look at the human rights of murderers. But if those complaints made by those organizations, I would still give them some value if they had made complaints before. Against those who raped, killed, murdered, planted bombs, cut off hands and heads, but they didn't do it and now only care about criminals. I've noticed this happens not only in El Salvador, but also in other countries. Chileans watching will know if it occurs in Chile too.
Let's see, Chileans, the people from Chile who are here with us tonight, the same thing happens to us.
But it's not just that they only care about the criminals, but they never say anything about honest people. So to me, it seems like there's something twisted behind that. These NGOs and organizations supposedly for human rights seem more like the legal office for criminals. So we really do work for human rights. You saw the toughest prison we have, which is the prison for people who have killed 10 or even more people. But you are invited to get to know the rest of our penitentiary system where we have programs.
The cameraman isn't focusing on the lefty anymore because the lefty has left. She is teleported. To Lefty Land, a spaceship has arrived and said, get out of there because you're getting hit from all sides. The rain was like a kind of hurricane over her.
Training. Every day you work on yourself counts as 2 days off your sentence. 70% of prisoners in El Salvador will be released in less than a decade, and all of them are in reform programs. And if you look, they're in good spirits, happy. They're out on the streets, repairing schools, cleaning beaches, building the desks your children study at. Because they committed?
It's tremendous.
They committed crimes and are criminals, but they didn't kill or rape, just other offenses like burglary or car theft. It's wrong and they should go to prison. But they can reform. We believe that people can change. There's someone who killed 10, 20 people.
Of course. How do you reform someone who has killed 10 or 20 people as family or his whole neighborhood? How can you reform him? We're being foolish.
He can't be reformed. But I'm sure the Salvadoran prison system is not the best in the world. We don't have the resources to make it so, and we're not going to spend the money from children's hospitals on them. But it's pretty good by Latin American standards.
We're not spending the money on hospitals for the Latin American FACOT.
It's good. You can see the numbers. For example, the number of people who have died in prisons in El Salvador is much lower than those who have died in prisons in almost all of Latin America. I think that includes Chile. Percentage-wise, well, even though maybe it shouldn't be that way, that's the reality. Fewer inmates in El Salvador die than free people who die of natural causes. Thank you. Why is that happening? I don't know. I think it's because there is more rigor in medical checkups inside prison than outside. People outside sometimes don't go to the doctor, they don't get checked. The Salvadoran penitentiary system isn't perfect, but is among the best in Latin America.
It's a big one.
In addition, it's guaranteed that no crimes are ordered from there. There's no cell signal. You went there today. Many of you, you saw it. There's no signal. It's impossible to get a signal.
Pay attention to what's coming now. Pay attention to what's coming now.
Yeah.
Bukele explaining that in the prisons, already in El Salvador, there's no phone signal in the prisons.
What is there for? First, it's impossible to get a cell phone or a computer in there, but if you
Can get a computer or a phone in. In prison, nothing happens. You can use it like a pet.
because getting one in would just make it a paperweight or something to throw, but no, it's useless. Inside there, it's completely blocked. We have a system that doesn't allow prisons to become crime headquarters like in other countries. It doesn't allow murders to be ordered from inside like happens in other countries. It doesn't allow parties like what used to happen here in El Salvador before, parties where there were prostitutes. And they used to upload videos to YouTube from inside the prison.
YouTube didn't censor those videos. They're still up. But they censor us.
I mean, the gang members had parties with prostitutes, and then they would upload the video to YouTube so others could see their party.
He's a genius.
And all the YouTube videos are still there. I think YouTube hasn't taken them down. They're still there. It's good that they're still up.
YouTube hasn't taken them down. You'll see them soon.
They're there to show what used to happen here, but now nothing like that happens, not even prostitutes.
Nor no women of questionable morals.
No cameras, let alone internet for YouTube uploads. Entonces, so I think we have a good penitentiary system. It has also been a fundamental pillar in solving the crime issue. From being the most dangerous country in the world, we're back to the same point. Maybe not having lived in the most dangerous country in the world gives you a bit more perspective to say, well, maybe you don't have to do so much, but the level of sickness that was here, which is what we cured. And now we're a much safer country than any other country in Latin America, much safer than any other. It's the level of medicine we have. We've applied it well, taking into account, again, not as the #1 priority, but as a reality of human rights of the criminals. We acknowledge them and consider them, but our priority is the human rights of honest people.
Of course, criminals who are murderers, their right is not to go back to the streets. That's their right. I think that's a fundamental right. Poor girl. It's amazing. It's amazing. I swear, the whole thing about Salvador just makes my head spin. It really makes my head spin. I really need to visit Salvador one of these days to see what's happening there. One of these days, we're going to take the spaceship. We're going to teleport over there to Salvador to see what's happening in those places. What a huge ship. What a huge ship. There's just one thing I don't understand. I'm going to show you a photograph. All the leftists with the Gaza war, pay attention to the photograph that's coming. I'm going to do it right, so you'll be completely amazed. All the leftists with the Gaza war and some guys who went in to massacre babies, women, children, elderly people, dogs, cats, and everything that was alive in a house. They went in. They went in to completely destroy Israel. And then we had Dr. Hussam Abu Safia here, who gave us the reports from Shifa Hospital, saying Israel killed countless babies and massacred many people. All the televisions in the world, pay attention to what you're about to see now, because this is devastating. Abu Safia, he told everyone how terrible Israel was and about the genocide in Gaza. What nobody stopped to investigate and pay close attention to what you're about to see now. What nobody has dared to tell about Abu Safia is this. Abu Safia was a colonel in Hamas. And there you have him, dressed in uniform and with the rank of Hamas. Colonel Abu Safia and Hamas rank uniform. And now what? And now what do we do?
With that man of peace,
What now? Now, he's no longer a doctor. He's a member of Hamas. He's a member of Hamas, and in his free time, he's a doctor. Sometimes he kills people, and other times he saves lives. How do we do this? How? Yet people would rather protest in the streets, burn Israeli flags, and attack Jews instead of recognizing what's happening in their own country. Realities like this, we leave El Salvador. We leave El Salvador and we leave with this Spanish. Take note.
I ask migrant and racialized people, please don't leave us alone with so many fascists. And of course we want them to vote. Of course we've gotten papers. Regularization now. And now are we going for citizenship or changing the law so they can vote? Of course I hope so. Replacement theory. I hope we can sweep fascists and racists out of this country with migrant people, with working people. Of course, I want there to be replacement of fascists, replacement of racists, replacement of freeloaders, and that we can do it with the working people of this country. Regardless of skin color, Chinese, black, brown, I stand with all my comrades, the working people of this country.
Well, someone should explain to the illiterate Irene Montero that Morona doesn't exist. Okay, Irene, Morona doesn't exist. The color brown exists, but Morona is not correct. Morona, you... Did you say you want to replace us? You want to replace us? This, right? A guy with a mustache said it in the 1940s, in a Germany that wanted to replace one race with another. This is the real reason why they're going to nationalize, right? 500,000 more than 500,000 plus all their families when they come to Spain for votes. Spain is lost, Europe is lost. And there's a part you haven't seen of Bukele, which you'll see soon. In a clip where he says at the beginning things start off well. We think nothing is going to happen. Even if there's a bit of crime, then things get out of control and it's already too late. From you, the Morona, not to change or say the last letter, this is tremendous. Has anyone seen Pakistan Embassy in Barcelona? I'm going to play a video. Sorry, I don't mean anything against anyone. Happiness, peace, and love. But they're not going to replace me. No one can or will replace me. Only God will when He calls me. Video from Barcelona, Rosalba Verdadera.
People standing in line.
I took a walk near my house. The government plans to legalize over 850,000 people, calling it historic, humane, and necessary.
In reality, they only bring them into the system when it benefits them, not to help.
In the end, it's always the same, a corrupt system run by a selfish few.
Are they going to nationalize millions?
Yes.
Does anyone recall what happened recently in New York? A city of 8 million. An election where 2 million people vote, and more than 1 million vote for someone who is an Islamist and ends up becoming the mayor of New York. Let's take that to Spain now.
No.
We nationalize anyone who needs it, thanks to Morona. Now they won't vote for Partido Socialista Obrero Español anymore. They'll support the party they created. Result.
Well,
Imagine. That they're going to replace us. Imagine. The replacement, we're going to replace Spain of Spaniards. Now, anyone who has a bill from before December 2025, I think it is, I think that's what they said, or from somewhere, money transfer to Pakistan or wherever, or if they came on vacation, is there any problem asking for papers without nationality? They're going to pay your pensions. They're going to pay your pensions, not mine. Not a single one for me. This is just incredible. This is incredible. There are countries that are fighting against crime, right? And we legalize it, and I'm going to tell you why. People with criminal records or police records, are they going to be legalized too? If they're awaiting trial, the trial might be in 2 years. They are going to be legalized. Pickpockets, robberies with force, assault, public order, violence against people, violence against property. That's not going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. The next thing we'll do, we take down the fences in Ceuta and Melilla. We remove the passport control checkpoints at the airports. Let everyone come. In fact, Europe is nervous about this. That's why Pedro Sanchez has come out in the last few hours speaking in English to explain why he's going to nationalize. Maybe the best from every household, and you already understand where I'm going with this. Being an immigrant is not bad, and coming to work is not bad, but there are legal channels that must be followed. And that's written for everyone. To replace, to listen to him. We gave you papers, so you must vote for us. Thank you.
Please don't leave us alone with so many fascists.
Don't leave us alone. I'm not sure. Women won't be left alone on the streets.
Thank you, and of course we want you to vote, of course.
Absolutely, and it's even better if it's our party, right?
We have gotten papers.
We gave you papers. You are regularized and will soon get a passport to travel much of the world.
We're now seeking citizenship or a law change so you can vote.
Wait, something just came to mind.
España.
Spain. Spanish citizens don't need a visa to travel to the United States. You get the electronic system for travel authorization on a website. And normally, unless it's a very unusual case, which do exist, you can travel to the United States. How long? Now, when Donald Trump, someone asks him, did you know that about Spain? They are going to nationalize more than 1 million immigrants who come from countries that are on our blacklist, and they are going to give them a Spanish passport so they will be able to travel here. With the electronic system for travel authorization, what do you think Donald Trump is going to do? Thank you. Well, he's going to take us off the electronic system for travel authorization list, and every Spaniard will have to pay to go to the embassy and have an interview. Pay more than 200 euros in advance to be able to travel to the United States, for example. It's a small example of what Morona has just gotten us into with her policies of, we give you papers, you give us votes, papers for votes. What has to happen in Spain for this to end? What is Spain? That something has to happen. Something has to happen. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Let's go with the super chats right now. Family with super chat. Are you against the Morona or in favor of the Morona? I don't care. You can say whatever you want. This is a free place with manners. Various opinions, military strategies, and self-love are important in Spain. You're always my source of information. Greetings from Uruguay. Thank you. Strategies coming soon in Uruguay, Argentina, and Chile. Thank you, Jason and Mauro. Should we shave the Ayatollah? Lily, thank you very much. Frankie River, hello from Arizona, United States of America. Well, strategies. Harry, 5 memberships gifted. Thank you so much, Harry, for those memberships. Blanca, thank you. Marcella, thank you. Is the topic we're discussing tough? Thank you. Let's legalize so they vote for us. If it's about human rights and all that, we don't care. We just want their votes. They vote for us. And with this, since we've had train accidents, corruption cases, we've lost a lot of votes. We are going to renew the sap of the tree. And now we're going to bring in people to replace the Spaniards. Because, of course, if the Spaniards think differently from us, they're fascists. That is, anyone who doesn't think the way they do is a fascist and has to be replaced. Well, I think there could even be a crime involved there. I don't know, but my lawyer friends surely know more than I do. Should start looking into whether there's a crime involved there. Replacing us. Now this is something new. They're telling us, greetings, Estrategias. Our friend Bam Bernie, thank you very much. Apollyon, do you think the United States has any AI that scans or analyzes the whole planet using satellites looking for signals? All kinds, like the analysis is...
Y se hacen acá.
Apollyon? Let me tell you, back in the day, I often did this thing live. Of looking at the map to see if we find anything strange, any anomaly in the terrain. It used to be done by hand. A person would spend hours manually scanning and comparing images for changes from month to month or day to day. Now it's done with artificial intelligence, which makes it much faster and much harder to hide. Cinefelio, greetings from Chile. Juan, Joel, Hernandez. Thanks, Griselda. Always rest. Without health, nothing is possible. Hugs. Take care. Yesterday we rested. We were exhausted. Angel from Chile, not from Puerto Rico, excuse me, Puerto Rico. Greetings. Angel Maria from Peru. Strategy. Greetings. Greetings to Peru. My president. Bukele is great, says Griselda Benilla. He's great. He's a shy man. Bukele is the greatest of all time. The best ever. Anna, thanks a lot. Is Caco being rebuilt? Bukele started construction. Costa Rica is building a Secot. Well, something adapted from Secot for Costa Rica's needs. Bukele laid the first stone. I wish Bukele were president of Spain, as Raj says, and that we would open, not a Secot. A few S13S. I can't say anything polite about Irene Montero. Call her Morona, and we already know what you're saying. Innocent one. Thank you very much. I love Ivan Lopez. Thank you very much as well. This is going to end badly. This is going to end badly. Criminals with more rights in Spanish prisons, watching television, visits with their relatives or with women of questionable morals. They go to prison. They have money,
Teléfonos.
phones, drugs inside the prison. This is incredible. There are people who are better off inside the prison than out on the street. Especially in winter when it gets cold. heating, air conditioning, pool, internet. Nothing happens. But meanwhile, in Spain, there are families who can't make ends meet. Retirees are seeing more deductions from their pension fund payments, yet nothing changes. Now more people who haven't contributed will be nationalized. Most of them so they can also bring their families to replace Spaniards and so they can vote for Partido Socialista, Obrero Español or Podemos.
Tremendo esto.
Subscribe to the channel. They're going to be great. Very, very great.
Yes.
Let's get back to the topic. Let's do it. As we announced and discussed, the Prime Minister of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Yassin Al Thani, traveled today to the Iranian capital, Tehran, and met with Ali Larijani, Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council of Iran. He has not met with Arachi. Arachi doesn't control anything. The one in control is Larijani. He is the one who gave the order to massacre his people.
Oh.
Tremendous. Tremendous. We have more photos. Here is the aforementioned person. Here is the officer. Khamenei visiting the tomb of Khomeini and some others. Subscribe. And he said, hey, the room is going to be too small for us.
No.
Soon, since they're bound to start passing through there. Little boxes. Imagine if they really made a big impact. Some will say they feel sorry for Khomeini. Some will say they feel sorry. This guy is responsible for the deaths of thousands of people around the world. No, I mean senior citizens' rights activists will come and say the poor old man can't be eliminated by the United States because, of course, he's old. Human rights? You don't hear from any human rights non-governmental organization has Chow appeared. To defend the Iranians. Where are the United Nations and everyone else? Nowhere. Nowhere. What for?
Tremendous. Tremendous.
Look at how he's looking down there saying, who? I'm almost there. Are they going to bury him with the cane or not? Well, if I were him, I'd check the cane. I mean, is the Mossad going to take care of it now? Of these matters, What was this called in Spanish? Cabinet making? Do they make little things like that for you, handmade, you know? I used to check the cane. And listen, if the cane starts to vibrate and move and it beeps, you hold it tight, don't let it move. Grab the cane, you hold it. Oh my God, just imagine the show. Imagine Jamin's show. It could be incredible. Let's see now. A couple of things. I want to explain something to you that we mentioned in the intro, and that was extremely striking. It's propaganda, you know? We also have to say it. This is propaganda. If you destroy the silo where these missiles are launched from, these missiles won't come out. You can take them for a walk inside the silo, but they're not going to fly. In this photo appears General Salchichon, also known as Salami Sarizade. They were watching here attentively. This contraption very happily. And why do I put it? All of them? The ones who have appeared in videos threatening the United States or Israel with launching little things? They're not there. There's Larajani left, this one. He's an anomaly in time, but they're not there. Yes, it's true that this is dangerous. Yes, it's true that this is dangerous. But I want to point out a detail to you. In a normal missile silo, under normal conditions, the missiles would be stored in one place. The warheads for those missiles would be in another place, and the fuel in yet another place. But if we look at the video, there are some parts of the video that are interesting. Let's look for them. Let's see if we can spot them. There are areas where they have the warheads and the missiles right next to each other. This is the assembly area, for example. If there's an explosion in there, there will be earthquakes, right? Look, here it is. There are going to be very big earthquakes. This facility apparently has a dual purpose, meaning it can launch missiles in revolver mode and also deploy trucks to be launched from outside. Looking at the images we've seen from Iran in the last few days, let's give some examples so people here can see. Let's go to the Tabriz area. Excuse me for a second. Let's open the map so we can see this in detail. Let's look at the Tabriz area. It's to explain this to people so it's very clear to them. If these people have buried the missiles, the entrances to the bunkers, we'll see it in Isfahan. Actually, let's go to Isfahan. We'll see it there. If these people have started to bury missiles or the entrances to the catacombs, we saw they threw sand over the entrance, so now the trucks can't get out. So does this contrast or match with the information we shared today also in the first live broadcast of the day? If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it, which was this one. They have taken the launchers to warehouses around the cities where they keep them stored, ready to go out and fire from the streets. A new strategy, why? Because now the drones won't be able to track those launchers coming out of the bunkers or silos, follow them, and destroy them. They've already been placed strategically, waiting for the order to launch, but also is the latest thing that's been leaked about this story or the latest thing that's been said about this story. It's that when the attack happens and they lose communication in the command center because they're going to be cut off, Each of the ballistic missile battery operators has to make the decision on their own. They have the freedom to launch the missiles whenever they want. This could mean continuous missile launches, 1, 2, or even 5 missiles. Different from the 12-day war. It could happen. It could happen, it could be. But everything is yet to be seen and discovered. Is that right, family? We're close to the final moment. There's a lot of talk about the Strait of Hormuz, oil, cities in flames. Israel, which has prepared and is preparing, and the United States, which is also preparing. Will it be tonight? Will it be tomorrow? Or maybe we still have a couple of weeks left.
Yes.
The answer is out there. We'll have to look for it. Family, thank you for joining us live on Military Strategies. Please, if you're watching the replay, leave your likes and comments. If you enjoyed the live stream, let us know. We'll see you very soon. Best regards.